Hello, everybody. English, Portuguese, English, I don't know. Anyway, okay, yeah, I usually use, as you can see there, and today we're going to talk about malware hunting. It's more focused on security. Okay, so I have a question. So, who works with security gear? Oh, shit. Okay, anyway. No, I'm joking. I make you more polite because it's recorded. I know. I think maybe, yeah, it's a bit crowded, but anyway, again. So, actually, I will divide this conversation into two parts. The first part is more budget part, yes. The other part, budget, anyway. And the second part is more practical part, okay? And yes, I made some testings in the past 2 years ago using Python to explore some security problem, actually, okay? And I will using some new terms for you, as I know, 4 people here in this room work with security. I think it's 95 that works, but I will explain some context, and after that I'll explain the test, okay? Nice, so who am I? Basically, I'm a security research in cybersecurity advocate this company, Sensegura. Sensegura is a Brazilian company. They have one specific product, which is more focused in PAM. It's a acronym of the Privilege Access Management, okay? And I'm security research part of the product team. And my main role in this organization is to investigate not only threats, understand how the malware works, malicious PDF, and so on and so on, but figure out new technology about the cloud security and other products and suggest a new feature release from this organization, okay? And I'm founder and advisor of this company. It's a black and white technology. It's my company, by the way. And we have different services in Brazil. And by the way, I'm Brazilian. Yeah, but I live here in Portugal. And we, provide some security services like penetration testing, application security service consulting, trainings like offensive security, defensive security, threat hunting, and many others. Different names in cybersecurity. And I'm very active in different communities, like this one is super nice, Hackers Not a Crime community. I'm one of this, the advocate of this community. The main idea of this community is to talk about the hacking, because it's a really lot of crime. Because when you see some newspaper or on TV, you want to see some attack happen, who is the guilty? The hacker. But it's not a hacker. It's the threat actor. It's the attacker. This is the correct name. It's a misconception here. That's the idea about the hacking, okay? Because hacking, how you can see, for example, we have here many developers, right? Who's developer here? Thank you, God. Yeah, many developers. Yeah, you are using the hacking concept. Because when you use your creativity, you are a hacker. That's the concept of the hacking. It's a lifestyle, how you see some software and how you can, explore the software, and of course, you can improve. But if you make something in a wrong way, you're a criminal. Basically. Simple like this. Okay? You need to go to the jail. Simple like this. It's not ethical. It's a criminal. That's it. Okay? And I'm Sneak Ambassador. Sneak is a SaaS solution, statistical analysis code solution, but of course it's the open source project. Okay? I'm one of the leads of the DEFCON groups. It's a community, small community in São Paulo. The main different trainings about the cybersecurity in this community. And I'm speaker of the Red Team Village. And this year I made 4 workshops on DEFCON in Vegas. And not only this, but structure, writer, and review those 3 magazines here in Europe from Bond, by the way. But if you'd like to, publish something, you can share with that and throw me a good review these articles. Okay, that's me. Good picture for my mother, of course. But anyway, so let's talk about our main topic today. So first of all, we put every people in the same page. What is threat? Because I made some attacks using Python script. So if I'm using Python script, it's a kind of threat, and specifically come from the part that I used. okay? Okay, what is a threat? It's not a definition from me, but from this ISO. Okay, this ISO is responsible for this definition. It's a potential cause of the incident, okay? May can cause some problem in specific system and organization, okay? Remember some concepts now, okay? What kind of software attack and theft of intellectual property, identity theft, sabotage, and information distortion are examples of the information threat. When I talk about the information distortion, probably you already heard about something like a ransomware, right? When some attacker infected some environment and request a payment for it. They encrypted something and request a payment to give the key to decrypt. But it's a hacker, it's a cyber criminal. That's the key. All those things is a kind of threat. Okay, one concept. Second one is, not second one actually, when you have some specifically, or to prepare or to do some investigation, you have the artifact, you have the sample. This is the first one. This is the first step of the identification step. Okay, when you receive some artifact to make some investigation, you probably can receive a malware. It's a acronym of the malicious software or malware. It's another acronym of the malicious document. Okay. Let me explain two specific parts. One of these is known threat and a known threat. Now you know what is threat. Okay, it's a potential cause of the incident. Blah blah blah. Okay, and known threat is when you see some repository, we can see some true or real malware is a known threat. But a known threat, basically, to make some investigation for the security perspective, actually, we need first understand how the known threat works. Understand different behaviors, different techniques used by the attackers, different things. Because of that, we need to understand how the known threat works. Because when we know how the threat works, we can, figure out new unknown threats. Okay, how we can discover a known threat if we don't know how known threat works? For me, don't make sense. Maybe for you makes sense, but for me, don't make sense. Okay, that's the key. So when you do some investigation or something like this, my suggestion to you is to prepare some specific report. Because, you can present to your coordinator, your manager, your tech lead, this is, it's important for your area. Not only this, but when you prepare this, maybe you can present an article. Why not? You can send it for the magazine that I showed. Okay, that's interesting. And not only this, but you can improve your defense mechanism. That's the idea here. Because when you do some tests, or when you do some code, for example, when there are some specific vulnerability in this code that someone can explore, if you discover this vulnerability before, you can fix this issue, right? So not only this, but when you do some investigation, you can improve the defenses mechanism. You can understand how the threat works, how is the technique used by the attacker, what kind of technique the attacker is using to bypass, okay, to jump the specific security solutions. Not only this, but you can create this beautiful name, cyber threat intelligence. Super beautiful word, but in practical way, it's sometimes difficult to implement this in different organizations. You can use many tools to help it, but basically it's when you try to work in this way, you work more in a proactive way. Okay? Of course, you need to create this intelligence. And of course, you need to be training with this, another beautiful name, the resilience planner. It's another, just beautiful words. Or words big. No, it's not words of words, it's important words, okay, when you talk about cybersecurity. Okay, other definitions, high value target. What does high value target mean? This comes from the military strategy, actually. When you talk about the cybersecurity or security, many expressions or words come from, the military strategy. One of these is high value targets. It's this terminology, okay? It's a kind of person, resource that an enemy commander requires to complete the mission. So this is for a military strategy. But probably we actually, in this rule, we have many possible assets or possible person. If you prepare or if you do something in your job, you're developing your code, probably you are working in some cloud, right? In cloud provider. It's true or not true? Yeah? So you code in your machine, but you need to commit, okay, this code, okay? You have probably CI/CD, pipeline, blah, 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 right? Oh, thank you, yeah, that's it. So you are a person, you code something, you have a permissions, You need to have some permissions in the cloud to commit this. In this CI/CD, you need to receive a permission. Behind of this permission, you have a group policy, right? Behind of this group policy, maybe you have a rule. There's a bunch of things that you have. One person, one single person. It's very complex to defend this. And that's the key about the high-value target. The question is, if one of these possible assets or information or systems are compromised, what is the impact? Okay, that's the key here. Okay, so maybe sometimes the people think that this the C-board member is more high-value target because it's this active part, is anyway, present. But everyone have an access in this cloud environment. When you talk about the cloud, each one here in this room can be a high-value target because it's one single possibility for the attacker prospect to explore you and gain the access inside of the organization. That's okay? Nice. Yeah, here is another consequence of this. And other concept is attack vector versus attack path. Interesting. What is exactly each one? Attack vector is a method of the cyber attacks, not a hacker in this case, right? It's a cyber attackers or attackers, whatever, used to compromise the system. That's the key. So they are using a specifically vector. It's a kind of weapon, like I used in Python. Remember the title of the conversation? There's an attack weapon, and this I'm using is a vector of the attack. Okay? So that's the key, the attack vector. And another term is attack surface. So let's suppose that this is one of our organizations. So we have here many people, different teams here, and we have a big surface here. So if I have this one, that's my weapon, and this weapon here is the possibility to gain the access based on this attack surface. So for the attacker perspective, I need to analyze what is the best point of entry that I have to explore this environment. Okay? So this kind of concepts I'll explain now. Okay? And when I talk about the attack vector, maybe we know, or probably already heard about the malware, malicious software, ransomware, I explained. And phishing is a kind of email that you receive, to sell something for a cheaper price. And our common example of the attack vector. But not only this, but the human error. That's interesting. It's super cool, by the way. Having weekend credentials when you need to commit some credentials in your phones, or we put your credentials in clear text in the code. You should be using the variables environment, right? But sometimes it's more easy to put the clear text. No, what is the stage environment is the test environment, but the production environment usually an open text. That's the big problem here. And using poor encryptions, you're a developer, you know how this works. We should be using the best encryption. And this big problem here, misconfiguration. Who, have I heard about the OWASP top 10? Jesus. You should make this research. It's super important for the developer perspective. OWASP top 10. This is our homework, okay? Because it's important. We can see here the top 10 vulnerabilities for the developer for application security. Okay, this is an open source project, okay, OWASP. That's interesting. And one of these is misconfiguration, okay? It's not a big infections or big thing. It's someone that put in some misconfiguration in the environment. That's the key about that, okay? That's allow access. This is a kind of attack vector. It's someone that put in some specifically, credentials that allows that attacker gain the access inside of the environment. Okay? Another concept is attack path. Basically, is the way, okay? Is the visualization that the attacker is based on this user, I gain the access to this user, I can go for this way, I can move laterally from this way, I can go to the developer team, and after that I can go to the TDR team, and so on and so on and so on. This is the attack path, okay? This is one picture from OWASP here, okay? Actually, so you have a threat agent. Remember threat, the agent maybe is the person, or they can use it, for example, some attack vector. Remember the concept is the weapon, okay? gain the access or explore some security weakness inside of the environment, maybe web application or something like this. Bypass means jumping for the security controls and gain the access in the entire environment. And not only this, but can impact the business impact. Okay, let's think quickly now. We are an organization here, okay? And what kind of team we can have here? Maybe we have a developer team, probably many people here is a developer, as I mentioned. DevOps team responsible for automatize the process, assess many applications, database team, cloud teams, leaders of the business units, privileged access. In the past, we have this reference, right? The sysadmin or IT admin, whatever, but nowadays, everyone here can be a high-value target. Remember, high-value target is someone that has access in the cloud that allows to do something or using some resource in the cloud, okay? C-level access, work from home, the remote works help a lot for the people works. And who is the insider threat? You know what that means, insider threat? Basically, it's someone that opened the door for the attacker. What does that mean for you, open the door for the attacker? Maybe this guy can be hiring for the attacker or the the cyber criminals to put in some no good configurations, to put in some bad policies to allow that the attacker using some, export some guys. That's the key here. And what will be the risk impact? So some brainstorm here. So now let's talk about my test. I will talk more about the technical things here. So I explain the bullshit part, is a concept part, okay? The concepts. Now I explain about how I made this. So I thought when I made this, okay, I was a security researcher at that time in that organization that I made this test, and I thought, so I need to, figure out if the security tools that I am using in my organization is really a good security tools, okay? So I thought, let me think about the first test that I made. So Filipi, in this case me, I create this kind of name called Malware Hunting, because it's not correct name. Let me explain. Because when you talk about cybersecurity, you have a malware analysis and you have a threat hunting. It's two different approaches. One is malware analysis, another threat analysis. So I try to make some mixing between both to working more on malware hunting or malware attack. The idea behind of this approach is to understand how the malware works. Remember the flow, known threats, okay? So understanding how the malware works, I can use this malware to explore environments. Based on this exploitation, I can suggest some improvements of the security. Because maybe let's think about your organization from the security perspective. So the security guys need to wait. Okay, let me think. So today I will be exploited or not? How can I test it? How can, in fact, test if the security controls it's really efficient? That's the key here. So when I create this, I thought this, based on this specific technique called EOA, indicator of attack. Okay? So that's the idea behind of malware hunting or malware attack. What is Filipi? What that means? EOA. Basically, it's focused on why, the reason of the attacker, why the attacker are using some techniques to explore different environments. That's the approach here. The way that the attacker is using to explore environment. Using some techniques like this, tactics, techniques, and procedures. Many different strategies to explore different environments. So because of that, I create this concept called malware hunting, okay? Nice, so I thought. So I need to test using real malwares, okay? So the first test that I made manually to understand how the malware works, okay? So first of all, I downloaded more than 20 real malwares here. Here is a real malware, okay? If you see here, here's the name. Basically, you can go to the GitHub, okay? You can go to the internet, you can put Dizu, okay? The zoo, Z, 2 O's, tzoo. You can go to the malwares, okay, folder, and after that you can see the binaries. And then when you go there, you can see more than, I don't know, 150, 100 malwares. Be careful because it's a real malware, okay? So we can, yeah, it's a real malware. So you can download in your environment. Of course, they use zip it or compress it. Yeah, you need to decompress. You need to use some password to infect it. And after that, if you click twice, you'll be infected. So careful, don't do this, okay? So what I thought, so I will download this. I chose different malwares here, as you can see. So I have here, for example, just to explain, ransomware. Maybe it's small, but you can see, I don't know if you can see here, but it's a ransomware here. Very known, like, Server, Locky, Gigasaw. You know this move, Gigasaw? Yeah, it's almost the same. You can see the guy looking, the time running now. Okay, and I downloaded, for example, this bunch of the equation group. What that means, equation group here, is a cybercriminal group. Okay, they call it APT. It means another acronym, Advanced Persistent Threat. Is the big group that using this specifically malware to attack different organizations. Usually it's more war attack, the government, like, we are seeing here in different, Israel, Ukraine, US and other, they use it from this perspective. Here, malware to attack specifically Linux environment, AOS for Mac OS, for example. Not only this, but if you can go there, for example, you can see like a VBS, very known. My friend knows VBS, okay. VBS. So I download many malwares here, as you can see. And one of these is small doc. These are document malicious. In this case, we have here specifically PDF malicious, okay? And the first step that I made is, okay, I downloaded this, and after that, I uncompress the whole malware in my environment. What is the behavior of the security sensor after that? Just another important parenthesis here. Because in my explanation about the talk, I explained about the some endpoints, right? If you read, I put endpoints. When you talk about the cybersecurity, you have two different endpoint users. When you talk about the developer and applications, you have an endpoint, the URL. That's correct, right? Yeah? But on the other hand, when you talk about the defensive side, the endpoint is the laptop, the machine, the instance, the server, okay? It's the same expression for the two different things, okay? So in this case, I test the endpoint, the machine, not the URL, okay? Just to clarify it. So, after that, when I uncompress a bunch of malwares, what is the behavior of the security sensor installed in my machine? They should, using some specific signatures detection, because there are many real malwares and no malwares. Okay, after that, I uncompress this, and this is the solution, cyber reason. By the way, I made those tests. I reported for the organization. I talked with many, people there, and after I wait to the disclosure process, and because of that, I can talk with you here publicly, okay, and report it, by the way. And so, yeah, that's it. And cyber reason has a good results because they blocked it almost every malware. They didn't block it, I think, 2 or 3. I reported to them. They improved the security solution. I retest. It works, everything good. This is the 4 malwares that they didn't detect. Remember, I just downloaded and uncompressed. I didn't click again. I just decompress, okay? I don't use any other actions to click like a user, what a phone user. And so once, just a parenthesis here. In the past, when I made some POC in the customer in Brazil, I went there and some incident happened. And the guy from security called the user, so what happened in your machine? You read I don't know, I received an email and I click, and after that I'm receiving a pop-up, the message, careful, warning, because it's a virus. So, and after that, I click again. No. You click? Yes, I mentioned it's not a virus. but you receive a message, Jesus. Okay, but we have a security team. Okay, yeah, it's that normal behavior sometimes, unfortunately, but anyway. So I made some of these specifically manual tests, and after that I thought, so I need to automatize this. So what is the best and more easiest programming language that can use it to automatize the process? Python. If you don't know, it's a Python, okay? It's a Python, right? Okay, if you are a C programmer, if you are a developer in C or Golang or other language, it's more easy for you in this other language. But if you don't know any language, Python is more easy to learn. Nice. This is another second one repository that you can collect different real malware, okay? Malware bazaar. So that's the purpose of that I use in here, the Python code. So that's the first object, to simulate a specific real attack using Python script, as I will show you here now. And the idea is to test the efficiency and detection of the different security sensors, as I mentioned, based on signatures, next generation antivirus. Wow. Usually, that means some joking here. When some organization create a new thing, they call next generation. That's it. New release, next generation release. And after that, next generation plus release. And after that, AAI, next generation plus release. Yeah, that's it. That's my success. And machine learning, that's the idea. And the second one that I made, the second test, this is one specific test using one malware. And this second test, second objective, I will test. Here is the real hacking mindset. Let me explain. The second object is to run more than one Python script with daily malware available by our bazaar. This is a website, okay, maintained from the community. Open request by API request. If you have execute this test in your environment, probably will download more than 2 real malwares per day. In the first test, I will download 1 malware. In the second test, not only 1. It's probably more than 200, sorry. Okay? So, why I mentioned that's the real hacking concept? Because in the machine, or the server or instance, you have an endpoint here. You have an agent inside of this machine to protect. Okay? Or for some security providers, they don't have an agent. They work in finance, or they use agentless. Okay, wow. They use a super, it's a big, super fast. But they have, they have many engines or servers inside of this, agent. These engines will be responsible for block this model, these engines. So I thought in the second specific object. So, how many people here heard the third or the concept called DOS, denial of service? Wow. Okay, this kind of, or the DOS, whatever, is to attack some web application. That's correct? No? Yeah. So I thought, if I try to do the same attack in the engine of the machine, to broke it, because it's more than one power. Like an engine, they need to work to analyze the first one. But if I download more than 1,000, 2,000, you can grow like a DOS. Because when you suffer some DOS, the application go down, right? So I thought, I can try the similar attack from the web application, but in this case, I will attack the agent inside of the machine. This is the hacking concept, the mindset. Okay? Nice, let's go to the test. So based on that, my team and me, we made some research, and we find this very nice from Kokamar, this guy from Switzerland, if I remember correctly. He is responsible for these specifically 2 codes that I will show you here. I made some improvement, but it's the same, almost the same. Basically, you can download for hourly or daily batches. What does that mean, daily badges? After it, I will explain. Okay, let's go to the first code. This is the first code, okay? So, super simple here, as you can see. Download the malware from Malware Bazaar. Again, Malware Bazaar is this web page here, as you can see, malware.abuse.ch. You can go here for browser, for example. You can see, you can type here some tag like, PDF or, ransomware, and you can see many real malwares there, okay? Again, need to download. The password is detected. Be careful, with the double click, detected, okay? So let's go to the code. Simple code here, as you can see, import request, system, by zipper, because I need to uncompress, because I'm happening to using this specific library. So here is the command -s to set the hash, because remember, when I go to download the website to download specific malware, usually they have a hash. You know what that means, hash? Yeah? Okay? Okay. Because I see the figures here, I thought it's a labor question, but not. Anyway. U to unzip, okay? Or -e to just in, okay? And you need to set here in the header the API provided by Malware Bazaar. You just need to have the Twitter account, and you can generate more than one API if you need. Okay? And then you request this specifically API URL here is the endpoint, as you can see here. In this case, the endpoint is correct, okay, is the URL. And we'll download, and you uncompress here the malware using this password, as you can see here, infected. And let's go to the test. So the first one, I execute here this for some reason. I download here, I put in here the basically malware bazaar.py. I set here the hash. How I know the hash? I go to the Malware Bazaar, copy and paste the hash, because I know that hash is malicious. And I set here a -eu to uncompress. And after that, they uncompress. As you can see here, if you see here, the process of the machine is going up because the engine, it works for one single malware, okay? This is the malware, as you can see. It's super small, but it's a WannaCry, very normal malware, right? Ransomware. And after that, bam, they detect that, they block it. Yeah, they should, because it's a no malware. And very old malware, by the way. The WannaCry is from 2017. It's too old. Okay, this test I made in 2020, 2 years after. Nice. Second solution, okay, block it, the hash, just to confirm the name WannaCry, threat intelligence, wherever, no malware detected, was detected, as you can see in the description. Yeah, the purpose of the test is to test the signatures with words from this solution. The second one is to Sophos, it's another security solution. I made a similar test, but I'm using another malware here. In this case, the malware called by Betcha ransomware. It's another kind of ransomware, but it's a no malware. And they blocked it, as you can see here. Below, no, it's here, the block. The second one is CrowdStrike. This is a kind of cloud office, but they did that. You know, this is a kind of someone using here CrowdStrike. No, they improved now, but I have some fight with them just because of that. Yeah, I reported, I talked, but the answer, I have another talk about that, but I will explain some spoiler after that. And because this specific solution works in a specific way, they didn't work with signatures, only for real malware detection. What that means? That the user defeated it. Remember, my test I didn't do. But for this solution, I needed people. Because of that, I did that. When I reported, he answered me this way. So because of that, I made other tests that I will explain to you after that. Nice. Let's go for the second code. Remember the second code? The DOS in the engine? Okay, that's the idea. So here is the Python script. Here's some adaptations. In that time I worked in this CP company called Zoop. And I created this Zoop Security Labs because it's a research lab, it's whatever. And I will download here the specific data. I could set the data or not, as you can see anything else here. Okay, here is the password. Here is the download, and if you see here, they have a specific folder called downloads slash some information here. This information is the data, okay? This is basically the daily batches. What that is daily batches? And this specific repository, anyone here can upload malware there. And the end of the day, this repository pick up or all this files up and you can put this in one single folder. And this folder they call it downloads, put in the data, okay, and put in this, basically. So each day you have this the bunch of malwares in this specific folder. So you can have more than 200, or you can have more than 600, more than 1,000. It depends on the community, because the community is responsible for upload malware there. Okay? Nice. And the second test that I made in Cyber Reason, running in this day, 19th September, I downloaded using the API, uncompressed, and I unpacked it. Here, as you can see, more than 200 malwares. If you see the CPU going up, take a look in the SOAP solution. This is the kind of service they use it, or the agents they use in this solution. Because of that, the CPU is going more than more than 100. I tried, I got to open this specific test manager, but on the second time that I tried, I had some problem because the CPU was too high. The memory, and this straight screen is A3, and when I reported to the Sophos, they mentioned with me, yes, we know that the CPU and memory and the disk is going up. You put in more than 200 malware there. Yeah, that's that's the purpose of the test. You broke the engine. What is the behavior of the Sophos? In this case, basically, Sophos broke the engine. I got it. Yeah. They should isolate machine. But here we have a specific window, 5 minutes. 5 minutes was the time that the attacker can exploit environment. Because after 5 minutes, they isolate this. When I mean isolate, is to put it outside the internet. Okay? Totally isolated. But this time, wait for 5 minutes. The window. In this case, this 5 minutes, they didn't have any protection in the machine. You see? So that's the key. Okay, I'm going to the end of the presentation. Exploit alert. This is the third code that I use in Python. Just to open a simple socket. Bullshit, simple socket using Python. Okay, I know that's idiot, but that's a test. Okay, and I said here the CMD. I open the socket. You know what's that socket in Python? No? Yeah. It's a connection in TCP that I open my machine and another machine. Okay. Simple like this. Something will. Okay. Because I using this to test CrowdStrike, because I needed to click in different binaries. So I create this. After that, I using PowerShell script that I will show you here. I'm using some similar here, as you can see, using API, but I'm using, in this case, PowerShell, because I would like to using this invoke here. Invoke web request, invoke web response, web request, and invoke express. Web request and express here. Because I need to simulate the click of the user, okay? And what is involved, just to explain, the first of all is basically I can send some web request here, as you can see the explanation, and the invoke expression, I can set some strings to execute itself, to be more, simulate the click of the user action. And I need to set here the extension, as you can see, .pbs. Because here I go to the malware repository, and I use it specifically malware and PDS, because I needed to test CrowdStrike. Okay, so let's go to the demo. Not the demo, I recorded this and I sent to the CrowdStrike. Okay, The answer was, we are the best in the department, we are the best at Forrester, your test is a bullshit. Okay, thank you. And after that, sorry for that, but I have all those emails. After this answer, I retest. Actually, I answer them again, and I wait for 5 months. So now I will share this knowledge, Keep Security Conference, and I publish an article. Okay? Okay. So I retest, because I would like to put in more, beautiful video. And when I tried, didn't work. Didn't work Spike, didn't work PowerShell, didn't work nothing. Oh, it's very difficult life for security researchers. But the point is, when I make different tests, always I record it. Even my bullshit comments, I always record it. So for example, tomorrow I need to do some testing for Microsoft. I open the Google Meet, start to record everything, and I try to record. And after that, I send to the team, the vendor, because it's the whole video. Of course, for some reason, sometimes I need to edit the video when I publish this in different conference. But when I try to do this for CrowdStrike, they block it. Something happened in this 5 months. Yeah, but it's happened. I know how this works. But anyway, okay. Just to finalize this presentation, because I have, I think, just only 7 minutes. I go to the console management here, Falcon, whatever, and I enable the bunch of policies. So if you like to see the complete presentation of the video, you can go in my webpage, filipipires.com, F-I-L-I-P-I, many eyes, okay, F-I-L-I-P-I, Pires, P-I-R-E-S.com. You can see all talks that I presented like this in Portuguese and English and Spanish, whatever it wants, different flavors. An article there, you can go there. Okay. And okay, so I delete here one specific file here. You see, is the complete video. Even I needed to delete this file because I was doing some testing. Okay, let's go to the shell.python. This is the first test. But before to start the test, let me show the policy here, the whole policy that I enabled in CrowdStrike. And yeah, it's reported, and that is virtual machine. Okay, so I go to usually I'm using this process explorer to see if some, process needs started. Sometimes this is the machine. This is the sensor, the version of the sensor here, because when you do some test, I need to share what is exactly the version of the sensor, the version of the console management, whatever. And yeah, now I go to the policy, if I remember correctly. I have to go more. Yeah, I go to the policy here. Yeah, and I enable here not only best practice, but I put in something here in extra aggressive, as you can see here. It's like a paranoid mode, extra aggressive. So if I think block, that's the error of the test. So I put in everything, configuration in extra aggressive. Here, if you see, they have two differences, like prevention and detection. Just to clarify, prevention is blocked, detection uses just a log. And if something is suspicious, they will log, not block it, but they will log. They should log. Okay, I enable all those things, and let's go to the test here. That we go to the, okay, I go here to the process just to show the two services responsible for block, because the CrowdStrike doesn't use agent. I have a solution that does not like to use agent. The explanation is because it's not, it's to be more easier, or it's not to be more, how can I say that? It's more, they have more performance. If they use an agent, the performance is down. If they don't use an agent, the performance is good. Okay, so let me go to the test, just make something here. Let me go to the Python script here. Okay, I'm doing Python here. As you can see, shell.py, remember the socket. Open the service here in green, super fast. and something happened here probably, but they didn't finalize. And here, as you can see, a bad shell like this. I open socket with my machine, and here I'm inside of the machine. Maybe you are thinking, okay, Filipi, but socket is not malicious. Yes, open sockets for bread is not malicious. That is correct. But for whatever solution, security solution that is tested, will be blocked. Why? Because usually it's used for the attackers or penetration testers. As I mentioned, after the 5 months, I retest, they block it. Because it's like, for example, another tool called Mimikatz. They are responsible for collecting hashes of the credentials of the Windows machine. So if you try using in whatever machine, if this machine has some specific security sensor, they will block it because this specific tool is used for the attacker perspective. They will block it. That's the key. Okay, I go to the desktop folder, as you can see here. Kind of joke, you lose. I create a file here. Okay. And I click enter here. I thought something like this. I create the folder, the file here, as you can see. Simple like this. If you see every type, everything works. I need to go to the desktop here. Now I will go to the desktop, it's here. So I'm manipulating the victim machine here, as you can see. Okay? I'm in, totally. And the solution didn't block me. Okay? Okay, let's go for the second part. The second part, basically what I do here. I simulate here one specific concept called command and control. When the attacker receives some attack, usually this person or this organization are in another country, okay? Whatever country. They're using some server to attack this machine. This server is called command and control, or the attacker server, okay? So, I made this test in Brazil, but I needed to simulate my command and control. So because of that, I use a specific tool called AnyGrok, as you can see here. I open my machine to the internet, and I set here my IP address. If you see here the region, now I am in the US. Simulate the command and control. So I need to go from the attack for the victim machine. Victim machine is in Brazil, okay? So this victim machine needs to go to the US to download a specific file. And I will go there using this specific URL here. And I set here specifically PowerShell. Remember the PowerShell? Invoke web request, invoke, okay, expression. Okay, I go to the US and I download the file here that need to go here. Here is the command, okay, web request. And I set the command in the virtual machine. I call the URL, as you can see here, AnyGrok. And I set here the file, VBS kill, and set the output here, as you can see. I need to know the path. How I know the path here? You know, that's here. It's easy to know. And I will set the web request. Okay. After that, I will download this file in the virtual machine, the PowerShell. As you can see, is over there. VBS kill. So I need to execute this file. Okay. What information is inside of this VBS kill? Actually, here you can see the code. Remember the code? Invoke web expression.vbs. So now I will go. If you see here, I put the command run here. You see, I recorded the whole video. I go now using this code. Until Malware app, remember? And I call using the API, and I will download the VBS malicious in this machine. And based on the invoked expression, they will execute itself inside of the machine. I make all those things. If you see here, I download here the hash, and they do everything as you may see here. So now something is happening. The CrowdStrike should block it or log it, but they didn't. Okay, and after I'm waiting, if you see here the extensions, PSP, PS1 actually, PS. So what is the behavior of the malware in this case? The malware basically change all this. Now the attack is happened. Take a look at this view. I tried to open the task manager problem. Take a look at this view. Because they started using EDS script. The attacker, the malware, are using EDS script. Because of that CPU going up. You see? Too high, many processes. Because the machine now is infected. If I go here, let's start to see some, how it works to the connections. And if I go to the end here, the process, take a look at this, the extension. They change it. Yeah, the malware changed all things in the environment. So if you go here, take a look at this. They change for BBS. In this case, this one didn't infect it because it's an open session. It's specifically one specific folder. If you go to another's, it's very similar to ransomware. They infected the whole environment and changed the extension. Okay, that's the attacker did it. Okay, just to finalize, this is the product that I'm working now, and we call it the community to helping us to creating what to be with us is the specific solution. It's a totally free. It's a cloud solution based on identity because these attacks just happen because of the permission of the user and the machine. The key is based on the permissions, the policy that the user has, and the rule of this user. This attack is possible just because of the permission. So if you go to deeply and each permission from each user, you can defend itself. Let me just show you this specific picture here. This is the specific tool. Again, it's free. This tool is we are calling, the companies to build with us. Here is the research in the cloud. Here is the actions. Here is the search, or it's S3 in this case. And this is the root policy from this user that we can see. So we can see in graph mode, what is the access path that the attacker can use. And this one is basically the action that the attacker can use to explore the cloud environment. That's the key. Okay, guys, so I think we don't have time for questions. And but I'm over here if you have any questions. Again, I appreciate your time in this day. 6 p.m. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.